from ancient Greece, and I would like to share what my life was like with you.
I'd love to. It'll help me with my history project.
We live close to a lot of seas, and it came in really handy. There's a lot of fishers and sailors, but I am a farmer, and the sea is handy since I can ship my crops to other places really easy.
Was farming easy for you?
Not really. The soil was not the best. I probably would have been better off if I was a trader sailor like my other fellow minions.
That would have been hard.
No, it was very hard. It was even harder when a volcano erupted and many of the coastal homes on the Crete got hit, including where I live, and our civilians began to grow weak.
That must have been horrible.
Don't stop there, it gets worse. The Mycenaeans also took over mainland Greece.
Wow, what did they all do?
They grouped into tribes and clans, which a warrior would head it up. They would go on raids along the eastern Mediterranean.
Did they ever stop?
Yes, eventually. Whipped them out, and the survivors adopted some Minoan ways.
That's good. Last year, I remember reading about the Odyssey for English.
Wow, that's cool. One of the stories we passed down. There was a lot of myths, which were traditional stories about gods and goddesses and heroes.
That's so neat.
There was also what we called oracles, where we believed the gods spoke through priests in special places called oracles. They learned mostly about the future.
Were gods a really important part of your life?
Yes, they were. We always needed to please them, and one of the ways we did it was with Olympic Games, and every 4 years for Zeus showed strength and bravery.
Every year.
What kind of events did you do?
Boxing, foot races, javelin, discus, and wrestling.
Cool. What was your government like?
Well, we started out as small kingdoms ruled by warriors. They relied on landowners. After a while, they started calling them aristocrats, and eventually they took over.
That did not sound good.
Democracy, which was like a government.
What was that like?
Well, government in which citizens take part. Also there was political rights, but not the women.
So that sounds better than the aristocrats.
We also went on to archons, which were generals that were elected to serve in the war for a year. Draco was one of them. He was the first one to create a written law code. Then Solon came along, who settled the disputes between those involved in slavery, and he outlawed slavery for death.
They sound like good people.
Solon had divided us into 4 social classes that were categorized by wealth. Then came along Pistratus, categorized by wealth. He also seemed to improve our comedy, but he was also did crash with nobles. After him had the Colosseans. He formed a big democracy with 10 tribes of people. It began a direct democracy where citizens helped make the decisions.
That sounds a lot the representative democracy we have now.
Yes, it is. You're able to choose your president, and we are able to choose who ruled our government.
We have that in common.
After a while, we were getting annoyed with the Persians and control over us, so we went to war. They invaded our homes, but the Battle of Marathon was the next battle. Then there was the Battle of Thermopylae, where the Persians found another way through the mountain. The Temesa told us we needed to leave because we're leaving to be attacked, but we did the trick of Xerxes.
Oh, that was the Persian War? How did it turn out? Did you win?
Yes, we did win. We are no longer under control of the Persians, but still have some power.
Hooray! Got any other stories?
We had a high point where Paradis was in control. He had a lot of great things for our government. He He dealt with our enemies, changed our politics in a great way. He was also so important to us. We called him the Age of Perses.
You're a general.
Sounds like a great guy. If I lived then, I want to meet him.
Perses tried to unite Greece under Athens, which grew a tension between Athens and Sparta. It broke into a war called the Peloponnesian War. It controlled over 27 years. Sparta eventually won, and then after we began politically unstable, but we still had some achievements.
That does not sound good.